NCIS has brought in the Frontrunner to replace the late Leon Vance as the agency's director, and in doing so, the CBS series has set up season 24's crisis. It's been nearly 2 months since Vance was killed off in NCIS's 500th episode, bringing Rocky Carroll's tenure on the series to an end after nearly 20 years. Though last week's episode finally saw the character's death being fully avenged by Leroy Jethro Gibbs, the question of who will succeed Vance as the director of NCIS remain. In the weeks following Vance's demise, the agency has been run by a series of off-screen interim directors, with no indication of who's been looked at to take over the agency. By the end of the NCIS Season 23 finale, there still hadn't been anyone selected to sit in the chair. However, a familiar face did return in Sons and Daughters, gunning for the job, Seamus Dever's Gabriel LaRoche. LaRoche was a thorn in the NCIS team's side throughout Season 22. While it was later revealed that he wasn't the full-blown villain they thought he was, that doesn't mean he doesn't have any antagonistic features. That much was clear by the time Season 23 concluded, as LaRoche did some shrewd maneuvering to improve his chances of becoming the new NCIS director when NCIS Season 24 gets underway. The last time LaRoche appeared on the NCIS series was in the Season 22 finale, where he explained that he was installed as the deputy director of NCIS as part of a Department of Defense operation. When the team unwittingly interfered with his mission, he passed along to them the responsibility of taking down the Nexus cartel. That mission was finally accomplished when Carla Marino was killed early into Season 23, but LaRoche resurfaced in Sons and Daughters as the new U.S. Associate Attorney General. This time around, his target was Kayla Vance, the late director's daughter, as it was discovered that her archive operation was being partially funded by dirty money. The good news is that Kayla was cleared of any wrongdoing, prompting LaRoche to drop her investigation of her. The bad news is that he intends to protect Vance's reputation in front of the press over his connection to the slush fund as political ammunition. LaRoche's not-so-subtle look over at the chair Vance once sat on told Alden Parker all he needed to know. One consolation is that LaRoche hasn't officially been selected as the new NCIS director. When NCIS Season 24 premieres on CBS's Fall 2026 TV schedule, there's the possibility that something will prevent him from getting the job, whether he willingly withdraws or is pressured to do so. For now, however, it seems like LaRoche's political games will give him an advantage over other NCIS director candidates. LaRoche also indicated he'd dig out skeletons in Parker's closet if the agent tried to interfere with his career aspirations. Parker said he had nothing to hide, but since it was implied he helped Gibbs kill Wayne Rogers, he may need to start worrying about LaRoche finding out about this. If LaRoche becomes the new NCIS director, it stands to reason he'll be much more adversarial with the main characters than Vance ever was. That being said, just because he might get the job doesn't mean he'll be in it for the long haul. It's entirely possible this would be temporary, and that LaRoche would vacate the job later in Season 23, thus paving the way for a true permanent Vance successor. One thing is clear, LaRoche isn't done making moves on NCIS. The question now is how many he'll successfully pull off and how long the main characters will have to deal with this new crisis originating from someone they hope to never see again.